Welcome to Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine. I'm your host, Jill Jardine, Master's in Counseling Psychology, professional Western and Vedic astrologer, psychic healer, and yogi. In this episode, my guest is Komilla Sutton, an internationally renowned Vedic astrologer. Komilla will discuss some of the upcoming keynote astrological activities in 2023 according to the Vedic system of astrology. You won't want to miss this episode. Welcome to the episode featuring my guest, Komilla Sutton, internationally acclaimed consultant of astrology, teacher, author, and lecturer in Vedic astrology since 1995. Komilla is my Vedic astrology guru, and I'm excited to have her on the show. There's much information to share, and Komilla will give the scoop on upcoming Vedic astrological transits. My guest, Komilla Sutton, is a Vedic astrologer whose life work is about the ancient knowledge of Vedic astrology. Komilla offers an academy of Vedic science teaching a 3-year online study program augmented by a new advanced course each year. This is a live course and very experiential. Komilla is the co-founder and chairman of the British Association of Vedic Astrology. While residing in England, Komilla was part of the faculty at the American College of Vedic Astrology and the Council of Astrological Association of Great Britain. Komilla is an author of 7 books on Vedic astrology, including Shodasha Varga, 16 divisional charts of Vedic astrology, and the Nakshatras, the stars beyond the zodiac. The Essentials of Vedic Astrology, which is a must-read for those who are wanting to learn the essentials of Vedic astrology. She has a book called Lunar Nodes, Crisis and Redemption, about the nodes of the moon. What is our karmic axis? Also, she wrote a book, Personal Panchanga and the 5 Sources of Light, Vedic Love Signs, and Indian Astrology. Komilla has led trips to India since 1999, and as of 2013, each year she sponsors an annual Vedic Astrology conference to promote a new generation of Jyotish masters. You can contact Komilla through her website at www.komilla.com, her YouTube channel, Komilla Sutton, on YouTube. She has a great offering giving audience the upcoming astrological Vedic transits and teachings. Komilla can be reached through social media on Twitter at Komilla Sutton. That's capital Komilla, capital Sutton. Instagram at Komilla Sutton. And on Facebook, facebook.com/Komilla Sutton Vedic Astrology, capital KSV&A. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome our guest, my teacher, Vedic astrologer or extraordinaire, Komilla Sutton. Welcome, Komilla.
Hello, Jill. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on Cosmic Scene. We're very excited to hear what you have to say about the upcoming astrological situation in Vedic astrology, and even more information. My listeners may know a little bit about Vedic astrology, but whatever you want to tell us, we're so interested to hear.
So I think the main thing is that the Vedic astrology is the astrology of India, and we look at the sky, the same sky as Western astrologers look, but the way we look at it is a little different point of view. So, for example, today is a very important day that you're calling me to speak, Jill. Today, Saturn has changed signs in Vedic astrology. So, Saturn
Yay!
has moved into, yes.
Finally!
Yeah. So, it has moved into Aquarius. Actually, the 2020s, because Saturn was first in Capricorn and then Aquarius. But there's a major difference between Saturn in Capricorn and Aquarius is that in Capricorn, Saturn had more difficult conjunctions, whereas as Saturn goes into Aquarius, it doesn't conjoin with any major planets. And I feel that this shift is important for the world as well. And obviously, if you have planets in Vedic Aquarius, moon or sun, then it has a great impact on you. But also, I feel that one of the key messages of Saturn in Aquarius is to think about the environment, think about how we are going to look after the world that we live in, so that the next generations can live in there healthily as well. And right now, immediately, actually, on 22nd of January, there's a Venus Saturn conjunction. So that is quite pleasant. It's not a difficult conjunction, but that is happening right now. So the other thing for 2023, always when we look at a new year, there's periods of time when the energy is not so perfect, or there are some issues that we have to deal with. And so around April, May is the next big chunk of difficult energy that we are dealing with. And that is also the time of the eclipses. They're not visible in USA, but eclipses energy, we do feel it emotionally, and it can be quite stressful. And the next set of eclipses are 19th April, a solar eclipse, and 5th of May, lunar eclipse. And the other side of the year in October will be the second part of the eclipses, and that is also unsettled energy that would be in October 14th and 28th, 29th of October.
Right.
Uh,
So,
the,
so just backtracking, I think that one in April too is going to be the next Mercury retrograde cycle. The eclipse season in April coincides with, we're going to have Mercury go direct tomorrow, the 18th, but then there's another one smack in the middle of eclipse season. Is that correct?
that's right. Mercury is retrograde and Jupiter changes signs. So there's a lot of drama happening in April. I think we should all watch out for. I think it's very important as astrologers for us to be aware of these energies. Then we can do something to balance it out.
Right. And if people are looking at, oh, I think I might want to go travel somewhere in April around the 20th, they may want to think twice before they do that, because the eclipses, and as well as a double whammy with Mercury retrograde, will affect travel. And the signs that they're occurring in the Vedic system are Aries, correct? Aries
Uh,
Libra in the Vedic?
yes. Yeah, the eclipses are Vedically in solar eclipse in Aries and lunar eclipse in Libra. And I think Mercury is also around Aries only. There's a lot of fire energy as well.
Right.
And we should keep in mind the retrograde of Mercury as well. Earlier this month when Mercury went retrograde, there was a lot of confusion with the airlines and flight delays and everything. So I think in April, definitely rethink travel plans if you are planning to do it. Uh,
Right. And that May 5th full moon lunar eclipse, it's going to be the full moon with the moon in Libra, which is an air sign. So there's more complication for air as well. Uh,
yeah.
so backtracking to where we are right now, we're having the 3 years that led up to when Saturn was in Capricorn. I guess people need to know Saturn's the lord of karma and a karmic planet, and it was in its own sign, one of its own sign in the Vedic Capricorn, which is a karmic sign. So we had that double whammy, and that's why it was very heavy. COVID came, the aftermath of COVID, all these restrictions, very Capricornian in nature, and so it's going to be quite interesting to watch that heaviness begin to lift now as it goes into Aquarius.
I think so, because Aquarius is more the air element. And I feel that the whole COVID story started with the moment Vedically Saturn went into Capricorn. And
Fascinating.
so the world having to deal with that. We can't say that every time Saturn goes into Capricorn, there will be something like COVID, but each time, it happens once every 30 years. That means there's something significant happening that we as a world have to face.
Right. And I mean, in Western astrology, it was also with Pluto in Capricorn and Jupiter in Capricorn. So we got that triple whammy in January of 2020, which lasted, the whole
Yeah.
year basically. So that's good to know. And the other thing is that the planets are all traveling direct, I believe, after the 22nd, when in the Western system, Uranus goes direct on the 22nd of January. And until about that Mercury retrograde, until that Mercury retrograde on the 20th, around the 20th of April, all planets are traveling direct.
Yeah, that is very good. I don't know the Uranus and Pluto things, but I think that if they are also going direct, definitely in Vedic there is no retrograde till April. Um, of course, we always have the nodes going retrograde all the time, but that's in nature, so we don't have to emphasize that. But all the planets going direct means that maybe a lot can be accomplished during this time,
Right.
because we are focusing on the future and we are not being pulled back.
Yeah, so that's a 3-month green light for people. And speaking of Rahu and Ketu, which are the nodes of the moon, what do people need to know about where they're traveling? What, because they tend to be the karmic indicators as well. What can you tell listeners about Rahu traveling through Aries and Ketu traveling through the sign Libra right now, and how that might be affecting people or collective in general?
I think Rahu is in Aries till 30th of October this year, and Ketu is in Libra till the same time. So Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, but for Rahu Ketu, it's the last sign of the zodiac. And I'll explain what I mean, because Rahu is always traveling retrograde. So when it began its journey at 0 degrees Aries, instead of going forward into Aries, it went backward into Pisces and Aquarius and Capricorn. So Rahu's journey in Aries is very profound, because there are some things that are completing. It's an 18-year cycle that is coming to an end by 30th of October. So, the world itself, or we individually, are coming to a junction point in life that is a completion of some sort, and new awareness and new ideas. And Ketu in Libra, this Libra is the natural sign of relationships. And Ketu is the past life planet. Ketu is also deals with old issues that can come up. And often relationships, whether they're one-to-one personal relationships or others, sometimes we are carrying a lot of baggage for relationships. And Ketu is reminding us of that baggage. And one of the good things to deal with Ketu in Libra is to let go of our old issues, to think about renewal and letting go of things that we are carrying in our psyche about love and romance and what we expect. Sometimes we can be too idealistic about relationships as well. So, on a higher level, that would be a good idea. Whereas on a more, sometimes, we tend to reject that whole concept that relationships are no good and we can live alone. So that may be not the best part of Ketu and Libra.
Right. And I've noticed during this cycle, a lot of marriages and relationships are ending. But as you said, it's probably the end of the karmic cycle for the marriage to keep going on. So there is a lot of changing in relationship and the definition of relationship. And then to the Rahu side, Rahu and Aries, it seems that since Rahu has been going through Aries, there's a lot more like military, aggressive confrontation, like the Ukrainian war started when Rahu was in Aries. We've had China
Yeah.
doing military exercises off of the coast of Taiwan, and there's been some more threats of military activities, but I think probably that will calm down with the Saturn in Aquarius, and certainly by the time Rahu leaves Aries in October. Is that when is it
Yeah.
leaving? When is Rahu?
30th October.
Yeah, so that's
Mhm.
interesting.
Definitely, that will be Rahu leaving Aries could calm down the situation. I think also Aries is more selfish, so Rahu in Aries is I, me, and then Ketu is in Libra, which is relationships. So there's this whole uh, war or inner conflict between how much importance I should give myself, what is the importance of relationships. So that area is being churned up as well.
And I think we might see a change in the kind of individuals leading countries. They may be less Rahuvic, less Rahu like as it leaves Aries. The other planetary energy that I think people might want to know about is the Guru, Jupiter, where Jupiter's transiting in 2023 and how that might affect us collectively.
Yeah, I think Jupiter is doing really well just now. It's in Vedic Pisces, that is its own sign. And then from 15th April to about, I think, 11th, 12th of March, Venus is joining it as well. So we have the two good guys, both in dignity and powerful. Venus will be exalted in Pisces, Jupiter in its own sign. And Jupiter continues to be in Pisces till I think it's 20th or 21st of April. And but that particular time, which is all connected to the eclipse of April, Jupiter is going through uh, Pisces to Aries, and that is regarded as a Gandanta point. It's a spiritual knot where there is some kind of instability, transformation. Jupiter is also ending a cycle. And then again in October, Rahu will go over the same point again. So I feel that April is very significant. And then Jupiter going into Aries means that it is with Rahu, and Jupiter Rahu together. It's Jupiter is always regarded as the guru, and Rahu is the anti-guru, you could say, or going
Yes.
against the grain. So they two together, they can be a clash of concepts, more different thinking and traditional thinking can clash. And Jupiter Rahu conjunction, which is the big conjunction of 2023, takes place on 25th, 26th of May. So that itself as a day, it is nothing happening specifically on the day, but that is uh, what we have to be careful is that Rahu can give the wrong advice to Jupiter. So we have to be careful a little bit about what advice we take, what we listen to around that time. Because that conjunction happens once every 7 years. And last time Jupiter Rahu were together was in 2016. So this is like the repeat of that in a different sign, obviously, but when they come together Vedically, we take that as not a very easy energy. However, the 2016 Jupiter Rahu was way more complex because they retrograded together on the same degree for almost 5 months. Here, there's just a clash in May, and then they go separate directions. So it won't be as intense a transit.
So it sounds like it will be more short term. It could be that some leaders are hot headed and want to do things that are much more aggressive than other leaders will want them to do. It sounds like it may be showing up on the world stage in some way, especially with that Aries energy as aggressive actions that the wise guru will have to calm down. The other thing is interesting, and what's on everybody's mind this year is the economy. We're done with the eclipses in the money signs of Taurus and Scorpio, but there's still residual, there's still economic issues. Because when you said 2016, that reminded me of another economic downturn. So I'm wondering what the Vedic planets have in store for the economic outlook in 2023.
I think that economic outlook will be easier to handle than last year. I feel that, usually Taurus is the money sign that we look at, but we also look at Aquarius as a money sign. And why Aquarius? Because when you look at the natural zodiac, Taurus is the second house ruler, and Aquarius is the 11th house ruler of the natural zodiac. So I feel that Saturn in Aquarius will have a say in restructuring the financial markets a little bit, and maybe more caution. Saturn is not inflationary by nature. Usually but Saturn can bring dearth in commodities. So therefore we can feel as if we have less. So that Saturn in Aquarius, which is a 2.5 year transit, it is something to watch for. And I would say that we have to be just uh, responsible about the inflationary aspect. It's not my sort of expertise as such. I don't look at the financial energy so much, but I think the Saturn going into Aquarius would be quite important for that.
Yeah, I think that it may also indicate Saturn and Aquarius that our collective value system may be changing. And so there's the restructuring that you're talking about, where the money goes. Aquarius is traditionally in both systems kind of a visionary or forward thinking sign. I think that where everybody's been sort of stuck in the present with Saturn and Capricorn and just almost being kicked back to survival mode in some respect, that with Saturn and Aquarius, now we can start looking forward to like what comes beyond 2023, 2024, which hasn't really been the mode of operation in the last couple of years.
That's right. I think Saturn and Capricorn more stuck in the way of whatever the thing and looking more backward, whereas Aquarius definitely more visionary. And because it's the natural 11th house, we'll be more visionary about money and finance. Actually, I was reading somewhere today that cash is no longer going to be accepted. So there may be this whole digital currency that is, credit cards or.
Right. And
Uh,
crypto is having a comeback. I've consulted for the cryptocurrency world there. And the date I said it was going to bounce back was 111, and I guess it did. So crypto is going to probably come back big through April. I saw it's going to have a hit when the Mercury goes
yeah.
retrograde, cryptocurrency. But yeah, I think there'll be a lot of new introduction of new systems and things into the collective in the coming years with this Saturn in Aquarius.
Definitely. I think the one thing I'd like to say, as long as Saturn is in Aquarius, we also must be cautious with, not take too much risk.
Yes. Yeah. Very important. I think people need to look at like credit and things like that, not overextend for sure, because it's still a Saturnian sign and it's best to be prudent with those kind of things. My guest is Komilla Sutton. Stay tuned. When we come back, you'll hear of some of her offerings that you can partake in. Welcome back. My guest is Komilla Sutton, Vedic Astrologer. Komilla has many offerings for listeners that they can partake in, including a YouTube channel. Komilla, tell us a little bit about your YouTube channel. You have a very big following and it's so informative. My son and I watch it every episode that you release. So what can you tell our listeners about the
Thank you.
channel?
I have a YouTube channel. I got to this idea of doing a channel with uh, following the transits and then also doing some study videos on it as well. So I have a transit. So whatever is happening. So for example, like Saturn has gone into Aquarius. So I have number of videos on that. And then I follow the transits throughout the year. So a lot of information. And then I do the study videos that you can learn Vedic astrology and different aspects that are important. And sometimes, the people who follow me, they ask me, please make this video. So I make that as well. So that keeps me quite busy doing the videos.
Yes, and you do teach a lot. There's a lot of information that you share in each one, and that might pique somebody's interest to actually study Vedic astrology a little deeper. So you offer a 3-level plus academy courses in Vedic astrology. I've done 5 of them myself so far and
Ah,
still going. Do you want to tell our listeners a little bit about your Academy of Vedic Sciences?
Yes, so I've had my academy for many years. I started teaching in 1995, but I used to do, in person. But in about 2010, I started doing online courses. And so I have 4 online courses from Monday to Thursday. They start March every year. And actually, studying Vedic astrology is a really good gift you can give yourself, because it is so detailed, and it is Vedic astrology is the science of light. So it puts light onto who you are, what you are. And of course, you can listen to um recordings, or you can follow on YouTube, or like Jill's podcast and other things. But also, studying yourself is really very good, because then you can make up your own mind about your own chart. And plus, of course, I am teaching so that you can become a teacher and advisor yourself. So the 3-year program aims to help you to reach those goals as well. So this March the course starts, and the early bird is 21st of January.
Yes, and I want to put my 2 cents in about your classes. They're very comprehensive. You share so much content, and a nice little benefit is that everybody gets an understanding of their own chart. Sometimes you actually give little tidbits and readings of what the certain planetary aspects mean in their chart. And the other thing, if people are sensitive to it, it's a transmittal of this divine healing energy called Shakti that they know. My listeners know about that from all our Sanskrit mantra episodes. But what I experience is the transmission of Shaktis through these ancient teachings of Vedic astrology. They come alive and you can feel their energy, which is a whole nother piece of actually learning the technical language of Jyotish. So,
And it's also live. I'm teaching live, so it's not like a pre-recorded teaching. So when people are attending the course, then they get me.
right, it's very experiential and very participatory, which is great. So, thank you for offering that into the world. And the other piece that you do is you organize Vedic conferences, and we have a big one coming up. Do you want to tell my listeners a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're starting a conference on 26th of January to 29th of January. And this is on the subject of nakshatras. And nakshatras are the lunar signs, and they reflect the mind, and they are an added layer of information beyond the houses and the planets. You look at the nakshatras, there are 27 of them. This conference is online, and so you can attend from wherever you are. And Jill is going to be presenting as well. So that is very exciting on the mantras. So you can come and listen to Jill, or you can listen to all of us. And all the details are on my website, komilla.com.
And we'll have them all in the show notes as well, that people can register through the link. It will be in the show notes for this episode. And yes, I'm excited to be part of this Fresh Talents conference, and where my listeners really do like the mantra episodes. They seem to get high ratings. That there are going to be plenty of mantras shared in my workshop that I do, and they're useful for understanding the planetary energies as well. The other thing that you have quite a bit of social media contact, Komilla. I'm going to put those all in the show notes. So you can be reached through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and as you mentioned, your website, Komilla, KOMILLA.com. And you've been an author of several books. You've written 7 books.
Yes.
7 books on Vedic astrology. And what might you recommend as like a beginning book for somebody who wants to start understanding Vedic astrology?
My book, The Essentials of Vedic Astrology, that is a comprehensive guide for a beginner student. And one that is very popular, people, Western astrologers as well as Vedic study, is Lunar Nodes, Crisis and Redemption. That a lot of people like to look at that, even though they don't study Vedic.
Right, I have that book and I've given away a couple copies of it as well, and it's very comprehensive, and where you do put the dates that they apply to these nodes, people can figure it out from the Vedic perception even if they don't know it in the Western. But it's very very helpful in understanding a personal karmic journey that somebody chose to choose in this lifetime. So that's an excellent book. And again, in your bio, I mentioned all of the books, but it's good to know that those are 2 for people just starting out in Vedic astrology. Anything else you want to say, Komilla?
I was just going to say that when I started off teaching Vedic astrology, I used to talk a lot to Western astrologers because that people were curious about Vedic astrology. So my beginner's book and all is a simple way for people to study that.
There is a renaissance in astrology in general going on right now. And I'm seeing more people in this area, in the Boston area, where there's not many Vedic astrologers, being very excited to hear that I do offer Vedic astrology now, because there's a collective awakening around Vedic astrology, thanks to people like you, Komilla, and others, where people are seeing the value of it and how it is very helpful for contemporary life here, especially in the Western world.
That is true. So,
But okay, so it's been my honor and pleasure to have Komilla on our show today. Check out her offerings, check out her teachings, her classes, and certainly sign up for the Fresh Talents of Vedic Astrology conference coming up at the end of January. Thank you, Komilla.
thank you. And thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. I hope you enjoyed this episode featuring my guest, Komilla Sutton, discussing the Vedic astrological transits of 2023. Make sure you subscribe, download, share, and give us a 5-star review. This is Cosmic Scene with Jill Jardine signing out, sending healing Vedic vibrations through the quantum field.